This might be a bit controversial, but I'm convinced that Australian men are either too scared to ask girls out or they just don't know how to. And the reason I know this is whenever I'm overseas, guys will just approach you. And my friends from America that recently came down, they actually noticed that they don't get approached in Australia, but when they go back home, they will have like 5 guys running after them in one night. And I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not sure what has changed in Australia compared to, say, Europe or America, but it's very different here. And I feel like women have to start making the moves on guys, which is a very different sort of change with the dynamics. And the issue with that is I don't know how to approach a guy. Like, how do you ask a guy out? Do you just go up to them and ask out? How do you do that? But I'm not on any dating apps and I don't want to go on any. So my only solution is to meet someone out in public, but I don't go out at night and I don't drink and, I'm not going to be at a bar. So I know I'm not going to meet my person there. So it'll either have to be at the gym or at my cafe. Yeah. Anyway, please tell me that I'm not alone. Like, does anyone else notice this in Australia? Is the dating culture here slightly different? Because it's definitely different overseas. Like, men will just go for what they want. So yeah, let me know what you think.
A guy who cannot communicate cannot lead. Yeah, a guy who cannot communicate cannot lead. Think about the guy that has ghosted you, is ghosting you, or any of the guys that have ghosted you in the past, okay? Not people that can lead. They're not guys that can lead because they can't accurately even express what is going on inside of them. If they can't effectively communicate, how can you expect them to lead you? He would rather be weird and ignore you than say, I'm not vibing anymore. I'm not interested anymore. It's not my jam. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can't even muster up 3 words. I'm not vibing anymore. Okay, that's 4. This doesn't just go for guys that have ghosted you. You could be in a relationship with someone who can't communicate with you. Like, you could be in a relationship with someone. Avoidant attachment styles cannot lead. Avoidant attachment styles cannot lead, okay? You should have no desire to want to be with anybody that cannot properly lead you, okay? Has no plan, doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know where he's taking you. Immediately no. Immediately no. That sounds like a fucking trap in hell. No thank you. I want to know that we're going to the clouds. We're going to the fairies. We're going to see the fairies, right? We're going to hold hands and kiss and go to the fairies? We're not doing that? You don't know where we're going? You don't know how to get there? Okay, this is sounding very bad.
I really wonder how, Australian couples get together, because Australian guys, they can't flirt. Australian men are just the worst at approaching women. They don't know how to talk to them in person. They don't know how to flirt, compliment a lady. I really wonder how some of us, get around. And I think the same applies for, Canadian and New Zealand men. Men from Commonwealth countries have no balls when it comes to hitting on women. And it's frankly sad when you go to other countries, Latin America, Europe, and you go wow, guys here actually have game with women. It's shocking, honestly.
I just came to the realization why I'm single. Every guy that I'm oh yeah, he's attractive. Okay, this is not supposed to be offensive, but I see their wives and they just look so not like this. Just I pretend my tattoos are gone. Dude, I look crazy. That's why guys don't want to wife me up. And I just come to this realization today. See? Or maybe it's because all of them see me eat sushi after I get out of the grocery store in my car with my bare fingers and drink sweet tea. Oh no. Guys, I thought these men wanted big, strong, tough girls. I don't know. I feel like all of them are like super girly, and all these guys are like, yeah, that's my girl. That's just like housewife stuff. And I'm over here like, I own my own business. I'm covered in tattoos. I'm a little spazzy, but that's okay. We embrace it. But yeah, I don't think any guy's gonna wife me up because they can't take me seriously. And I just realized that. Damn.
Okay, ladies, listen up. You are not unattractive, okay? This is not the reason why people aren't approaching you in public. You're bootyful. It's more than likely that you just look unapproachable. I'm gonna tell you what I do to be approached, because it just seems to happen every time I do these things. Is it nice to get validation from a stranger out in public, you know, randomly? Sure. Dating apps are not exactly satisfying. If you're content with those, just feel free to keep scrolling. First things first, if you're out in public and you're going for a walk, grocery shopping, dilly-dallying, I don't give a shit. If you have your headphones in, lose them. No, I'm a walking contradiction. However, it does work. No one's gonna come up to you if you have your headphones in. So whatever human being decides to interrupt you while you have your headphones in is not the type of person you want to approach you. If you want to meet someone in real life, you're gonna have to raw dog real life. Sorry, friend. Number 2 is wearing your sunglasses consistently. I know y'all are gonna hate that one because the sun be out here and we're all going blind. However, any opportunity the sun is not in your eyes and that you could take your sunglasses off your face and show your face and show your eyes, you're more likely to be approached. Number 3, turn off your tunnel vision, girl. I know you got somewhere to be. I know you got that appointment. I know you have that errand to run. I know you got shit to do. However, take a look around, make eye contact with someone, get comfortable making eye contact with someone, because a lot of us look away when we see someone attractive. I know we all do it. I do it, you do it. If you want them to approach you, you need to look into their soul. I'm sorry. Obviously, don't stare. People see you're on a mission. No one's gonna disrupt that. I wouldn't disrupt that shit. And this is my last trick. A lot of you probably won't like this, and use it sparingly because it's hard to keep up. Get rid of that RBF. This is a trick I actually saw on TikTok. No one likes to aggressively smile while they're like out and about in public because you just look like an absolute creep. You're gonna think about smiling as opposed to forcing a smile, because when you think about it, it'll remove the RBF and give you a little bit of a smirk. It looks more approachable than your RBF, trust me. If you don't want to be approached, just do the absolute opposite of everything I just said.
Why do men nowadays stare and act interested but never approach you? Men and women on Twitter share the reason why men don't like approaching women. Hi, I'm Phenom, and let's mind other people's business. Follow me on Instagram because I mind other people's business differently over there too, so go on. The same women asking these questions are the same ones saying they don't want to be approached and filming men trying to embarrass them for even saying hello. Why the hell would they continue to keep approaching y'all? I do remember women saying en masse that they wanted to be left alone and not approached. Because if he does, y'all gonna call him weird, stalker, thirsty, or some other name. It's safer to just look and keep it moving, or just let her say something first. All my life I've been hearing how women want to be left alone in public, so I be cool for real. I just mind my business and go to my destination and complete my objective. I think social media raised a lot of these dudes, so they rather get rejected in the DM versus in person. Lol. I'm pushing up on you if I like what I see. Shrug. Well, the worst that can happen is she tell you she not interested or got a man. YOLO. Y'all keep calling them predatory for basic communication. 1, we seeing how many others you curve. B, we don't know if you're also interested, and we're not mind readers. And 3rd, we're tired of always having to make the first move. Body language and eye contact gon' tell it all, lol. If she ain't looking at me a certain way or doesn't look open, I'm not wasting my time over there. Honestly, from what I've noticed and from what I've been told, men said they're not approaching because they don't want to be labeled thirsty, stalker, harasser. Others said they assume she already has someone. Others said they just don't like rejection. Because the majority of the time when a guy's interested, a woman will act like he's bothering her or not her type. Because they're not allowed to approach women. Too many rude and abrasive women nowadays. You can come respectful and like a gentleman, and some of the things that come out of some of these women's mouth will scare you off. Because women aren't always approachable. Thanks to all the thirsty heathen, it makes it hard for real interested ones to come forward because you don't want the women to feel harassed or bothered. I like how there's a little bit of accountability in that one. All it takes is a sprinkle. It doesn't have to be you specifically who engages in the behavior for you to recognize it. See, ain't this a lot of y'all lying? Y'all be on here daily saying you hate men and want to be left alone, then just start following instructions. Probably because they don't want to end up on TikTok being pinned as a creep for showing interest.
Because a lot of y'all don't know how to put y'all phones down and not be corny. Then y'all about a man approaching y'all. Then y'all about men not liking certain women of certain races, parental statuses. Y'all made pure interactions a thing of the past. Vice versa.
Y'all gotta be for real here, ladies. A lot of y'all act a fool when a man approaches you. I even had to check myself. All the attitude, disrespect, or acting a victim.
If you are not being approached by the masculine when you're out, and you know you're a beautiful woman, a successful woman, you have a lot to offer, let's talk, because I know how frustrating that is. I made a video about this before where I shared that until I was 24, I had never been approached out at a bar or been hit on, like, ever. Like, the first time a drink was bought for me, I turned to my sister and I was like, what do I do? And I didn't know why at the time, because I thought physically, like, okay, I like how I look. I know I have a lot to offer. Why isn't this working? I'm a driven, successful woman. What's going on? Why am I not being approached? Let me shed some light on this for you. By the way, there was even a study that came out to back part of this recently. When your energy is closed, people aren't going to approach you no matter how beautiful you are. Because as humans, we're always assessing what is the risk of me getting rejected. Especially, speaking candidly, as the culture of feminism has really changed dating, a lot of men are kind of like, do I approach? Do I let her approach me? What do I do? They're confused. The thing that will draw a person in to approach you, the masculine, or not have them approach you at all, is how open or closed your energy is. And I've been saying this for the longest because especially driven women usually present more in their masculine, and they're kind of like, oh, I have these walls and you have to break them down and I don't trust you and so I'm going to make you work for it sort of energy sometimes. What I've always worked with clients on is how to soften their body and open their energy up to allow that energy to come in. What this study found was exactly that in different words, just not in feminine and masculine energy work. The women who were approached the most in the study were the ones giving the most green lights that they were available for connection. Why? Because people are constantly assessing, am I going to be rejected or not? If somebody's giving you no eye contact, their body's closed, their energy's rigid, why would you approach them? You know you're going to be on the chopping block or you're going to be potentially rejected. When a woman softens, and I will do this in person with my clients when we do in-person days, we'll go out and I will teach them how to soften their body, how to keep their energy up and out in the room versus inward, how to stay open to somebody approaching them, and give those green lights to potential people to come forward. And I only know this because this used to be my biggest struggle. I was such a relationship girl that I was always closed off, so I never had that experience. And when I was dating, I didn't know how to open my energy. I taught this to a friend of mine and showed her how to open energy and have the masculine come in and approach, and it happened so fast that this person came to our table and all the things. We got in the car after and she was like, I'm hiring you for private coaching, because that little tiny shift was crazy. I can't wait to see what else we can do together. Moral of the story, how open is your energy, and are you giving them green lights to approach you? And if you want a more in-depth transformation so you can start to feel safe, relaxed, confident, open when you choose to in dating arenas, then fill out an application, because let's talk about getting you in your most empowered magnetic energy to help you empower masculine partners.
Being unapproachable is actually the worst thing ever. My roommate and I have been single all of college, and I'd like to think that we are normal enough for there to be someone out there who would have some kind of interest in us, okay? Like, we're not animals. We have to be pretty in someone's eyes. We have good personalities, I'd like to think, and we radiate a pretty decent energy. Like, we've got good friends, we talk when we're out, we dance. We may have RBFs, but that's debatable. Yet no one comes up to us. We can be at a house party, we can be at the bar, no one comes up to us. And we can feel people kind of making eye contact and kind of looking, and they just won't approach us. And we can see people come closer to us, but no one will actually come say hi to us. Any guy that we've talked to, we've been put in some crazy specific scenario that gave them the ability to talk to us. And all our friends tell us that we just give off unapproachable, not in a bad way, but just people are intimidated to come up to us. We are intimidating, basically, which is the worst thing to hear, because how do you change that? I am like the least intimidating person out there. If anyone has a conversation with me, I will talk to them. I'll be out and I'll see a random person. I'll just we just start dancing with them. We talk to them. Last night we were out and these people all night were just kind of coming near bother us and approaching us, but they wouldn't actually talk to us, but we can feel that they were biased the whole time. We went upstairs, they went upstairs. We were recording a video, they got in the back of our video and we saw it after. Finally, before we were leaving, we called our Uber and they were just standing by us. And I was like, screw this. If you're not gonna talk to me, like, I'm so sick of this. So I literally looked at him and I was like, you know we don't bite. Like, I literally said that. I was like, we literally don't bite. And then he started talking to us, and then all the friends were talking to us, and they were talking to us until our Uber came. And that's the perfect example of how frustrating it is to be considered intimidating or unapproachable, because the whole night these people wanted to come up and talk to us, and they just wouldn't actually do it, but they wanted to. And the second we started a conversation, they talked to us. And it ruins your self-esteem because you know there's nothing wrong with you deep down inside. But when you're a junior and you constantly go out on the weekends and no one has come up to you your whole entire time, it makes you feel shitty. And people do get approached. I think that's the part that's really hard about it, is that people are getting approached, but you aren't. So you start to tell yourself, what are you doing that's making people not want to approach you? I don't have the solution to it, but it's definitely an issue my friend and I have faced for so long, and it really bothers us. And I know we're not alone. I know there's so many people out there who are like that. So if anyone else relates to this, I'm so sorry, because it's the worst feeling ever.
There is a video going around of a woman describing her experience of being alone with her son when a strange man starts to approach her, which she yells, "Do not approach me, get away from me," and the man gets like offended before going away. And I've said it on this channel before, but I will say it again. Men do not seek out women for help. They will either seek out another man or they will contact the authorities. There is almost no reason for a man to be approaching a woman in public that they do not know, especially if that woman is a mother with her child and they are alone. This happened in the parking lot of a grocery store. If he really needed something, he could go inside the grocery store and ask for assistance from an associate. Leave women alone.